very strong. Since we have seen most of the participants is in and out from the Zoom, so might be interrupt the session of the webinar. Okay. Then can we start for the next topic?
Recording in progress.
So the next topic we will continue to the next topic. We will invite one of the application engineer specialists from 3M Malaysia. Okay, she is one of the PPE specialists on the respiratory and the noise risk noise hearing protection, and so on. So I would like to invite Ms. Shalin Voon to present the next topic on the nation noise legislation overview in regards for the continuation of the topic. Please welcome.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Sashri. Yeah, just do a quick sound check. Is everyone can hear me clearly?
Yep, clearly.
All right, good. So we will start the second session. Okay, sure. Let me share my screen. Right. So good morning, everyone. Thanks for staying back and continue the second session. So I'm Shirley. I'm based in 3M Malaysia in Shah Alam. So today I would like to share with you an overview of Malaysia noise regulation as well as the selection and consideration. Earlier, I watched the session conducted by Dr. Laurie. I believe it benefits to every one of you. And most of you also very engaging and type your question, especially on the SNR and NRR selection. So with that, I will actually walk through with you on the selection and consideration. Okay, a little bit introduction about myself. Okay, I graduated in University Malaya many years ago, and I joined 3M in year 2010. Prior to joining 3M, I got a chance to work with a CHRO assessor in my previous or former company in HVAC industry. So currently in Malaysia, I'm the subject matter dealing with respiratory protection, hearing protection, well-being safety, as well as the regulatory affair, including standard development and certification compliance, also on certain very specific like chemical spill management. Okay, usually people will have some question in relate to the correct PPE by zoning, like zone A, B, C, D, including asbestos management. And I was elected as a board committee as a MIHA leading the training portfolio. Currently, I am also selected by CICM, appointed and sitting with the technical committee as a representative in ISCW. Okay, for those that you know that is industrial safety standards. Okay, ISCW. Okay, this is my outline today. I will give an overview on the PHP, the type of PHP, the pro and cons, also on the correct zoning. Okay, so we will also show you what does it mean by seal check and fit testing. Earlier, Dr. Laurie already shared as a lot of meaningful information in regard fit testing. And third, it would be most or frequently asked question that you type in the chat box. Okay, how can we do all the mathematical calculation or conversion in line with Malaysia regulation? And followed by the how to assess the PHP and training effectiveness. Okay, yeah. So we will look at the time. If time allow, I will also love to share the cleaning, maintenance, care, and storage. Okay, let me walk you through. So in Malaysia, as we know, DOSH under the Ministry of Human Resource, they have started the PPE certification requirement. And you can see from left over here. Okay, so in the olden days, for example, helmet and safety shoes, I believe some of you, if you practice or joining in EHS long enough, you are using the CIRIM certified PPE. So started in year pandemic, year 2020, okay, DOS actually selected or appointed CIRIM, okay, as the single certification agency, okay, and to roll out the mandatory PPE certification. And you can see now, okay, in the market, most of the core PPE, for example, hearing protection for today, you are able to see that they come with a CIRIM, also with the DOS enforcement. The latest DOS CIRIM label looks like this, okay, the latest version, and come with QR codes. In the event, let's say later on you found mixture of these two type of label, so no worry. Reason being, this is a new label, and out there are a lot of manufacturer already purchased the older design of sticker, and it is both okay to use. Okay, next, I would like to highlight at this moment, okay, year to date, there are total 7 PPE or 7 type of PPE required DOSH approval. Okay, many they have asked Sherlyn, please share me the CIRIM approved. So today I would like to also clearly mention CIRIM is a DOSH appointed single agency as a PPE certification. Their responsibility is mainly to conduct audit based on the ISO 9000 standards, okay, for the quality control on the PPE product. And later on, PPE manufacturer, we will still need to submit to DOSH for final approval, right? So DOSH will be the final gate, okay, for end user like all of you to choose, okay, the right hearing protector. So I listed here, for example, safety shoes, okay, safety helmets, respiratory protection, safety harness, okay, safety lanyard, also on the chemical glove, okay, body protection, which means the cover all, okay, safety eyewear, safety goggles against chemical risk, including hearing protection. And these are the timeline that's actually DOS enforced, and it is mandatory. Okay, next, I understand that most of you also are trying to ask, all right, yeah, out there you may find various type of DOS approved or CIRIM sticker. Okay, this is the layman term. So today I would like to just to make sure that you understand. Okay, you understand, and in the occupational or the workplace. Okay, if we were to choose the DOSH approved PPE, make sure you choose those with DOSH wording. So in lots of pharmacies or in convenience store, we may see that there are some earplug, some of the consumer disposable looks like a disposable respirator, okay, but they are designed for consumer purposes, okay, consumer purposes. In that case, you will also see very similar, the gassing logo, CIRIM, all right, and the QR code, but there is no DOSH wording. So make sure you choose the right PPE for occupational workplace protection. Okay, next, since we talk about the hearing, okay, hearing conservation, hearing protection, I joined TRAM in year 2010, and I learned from DOSH that they drafted the noise regulation in year 2010, okay, and finally they gazetted in year 2019. So we would like to know that why DOSH is putting a lot of effort, okay, in driving the or try to minimize the occupational disease. For this context, we refer to hearing-related occupational diseases. If we look at the data in year 2020, there are total close to 9,000 cases reported. And if we really zoom in into hearing, okay, hearing issue, Okay, these are reported like 7,900, which is like close to 8,000. Okay, it's a big chunk, or kind of like more than 90. Okay, close to 90%. So usually when DOS justified, okay, it actually includes the noise-induced hearing loss by OHD, hearing impairment, okay, from the audiometric, again involve OHD and audiologists, and also for people who were justified, okay, and confirmed, observed with permanent standard threshold shift, right? So if relatively compared to other occupational diseases such as lung cancer, all right, you can see cancer, okay, or those like skin diseases, they are very low, relatively low. So this really is a emerging issue in Malaysia, and the same for global. So this is the data for year 2020. Next, later on, I also managed to get the new statistic from DOSH, okay, for year 2022. I hope I can get the year 2022, 2023 soon. And again, you were able to see, okay, compared to all the number here, again, the hearing issue or occupational diseases that relate to hearing as reported, they are the highest and 4 digits. The rest is just 3 digits, okay, or single digits. So this is a continuous issue. So that's the reason we always talk about, when we talk about PPE, yeah, we are trying to, or hearing protection, we are trying to minimize, okay, the long-term illnesses and diseases. Yeah. Okay, next, I try to summarize that those noise management or hearing protection related legislation in Malaysia. As mentioned earlier, noise exposure regulation was gazetted in year 2019. And I believe most of you are the noise risk assessor. So DOSH already revoked the old version of noise regulation that part under the FMA. They already revoked, and now they put under the OSHA's umbrella. Okay, and with that, that is a legal binding industrial code of practice release that personally, I really feel that DOSH put a lot of very good efforts in driving the hearing conservation for the total industry. Reason, if you really go through the industrial code of practice, it gives us a lot of good insight, okay, how we want to kickstart, okay, a noise management. There are a lot of details, examples, or even calculation for both NRA, employer, employee, also on the safety officer. How do you want to roll out the hearing conservation program? Okay, this goods ICOP actually released in year 2019. But we also understand that DOSH started this effort in year 2017. So at least you can see that the efforts, okay, in making this happen, they really drive this. And in year 2020, okay, and they published in year 2022, that is a group of passionate DOSH registered OHD, occupational health doctor, again, they still continuously observe the same trend of data. There are still a lot of industrial workers suffer from NIHL. Thus, just take note on that. And later on, I found out that okay, lots of small, medium enterprise, they still require a good kickstart kit. Okay, and again, DOSH is trying to help them and publish a very simple checklist to help the SME employer and kickstart the noise management. Okay, so this is the good reference as well for especially for SME. Okay, next, I would like to specifically talk about Regulation 7 under the Noise Exposure Regulation 2019. Regulation specifically talk about PHP or Personal Hearing Protector, Regulation 7. Okay, so assuming that as an employer, okay, or the factory owner, okay, we have done our due diligence okay, you have done all the assessment for whether this workplace, is it exceeded the NEL, noise exposure limit, and they're required to go through some engineering control. Most often we may find very challenging, okay, to eliminate that particular processes. So engineering control is always a start. So imagine you have done all the due diligence and you still required or rely on PHP as a control measure. So make sure, okay, so I hope today for NRA or the participants, okay, so you take note on that. Specifically Regulation 7, they talk about employer. When you come into hearing protector selection, out there are many design, okay, different specification, right? So make sure you choose the one that comply to 7A, which is suitable for the employee and effectively protect the employee. And definitely DOSH, okay, also mentioned on the Regulation 7, the employee got to be well-trained, they properly know how to inspect, cleaning, maintain, okay, and make all time available. This is quite similar with the use regulations 16, okay, and reasonably attenuates the noise, okay, and also approved by Director General, DOSH. So since ever we have the new noise exposure regulation, I believe a lot of professionals and regulators, they start to do a lot of good sharing and launching on the new regulation. And indeed, we start receiving industry, they are asking this, okay, is there any specific tools to assess the personal hearing protector in regard to the individual suitability and efficiency? So let me ask all the participants today, okay, currently, what is your practice? You may type in the chat box, so I will check that. Now, how do you, when you start, okay, choosing the hearing protector, how do you choose the hearing protector that you believe, okay, it is suitable for individual employee, also effectively protect the individual, right? Okay, please type in the chat box and I will check then. Okay, yep. Okay, next. I also try to summarize, okay, I also try to summarize all the related legislation in Malaysia in relation to PHP. So we will share you the deck later on. So what I would like to highlight is, I believe today you are all professional. So there are some points that I just want to quickly highlight. Okay, if you already done your noise risk assessment, okay, if you look at your report, definitely you will find by different color zone. For example, those that falls under within the 82 to 85, okay, which is the already exceed the daily excessive noise, okay, but below NEL, okay, or those that exceed NEL, noise exposure limit, and also please also consider, okay, those that's maximum, no one allowed, okay, to expose higher than 115 and 140 dBc. So with that, we do have a regulation talking about regulation 5.2. Okay, we talk about training is definitely a mandatory at minimum training annually. You can do more. You can do quarterly if you need to, right? But you need to have records. Make sure that you properly train your user, know how to use the hearing protectors. And also on regulation 7.1a, okay, this is the one that Sherlyn showed earlier. We talked about the suitability and efficiency. So since most of you are asking the NRR mathematical conversion, so let me quickly share you here. So for suitability, so we try to comply with the ICOP DOSH. So follow through the arrow here. Refer to ICOP clause 11. DOSH ICOP did mention, okay, and recommend the NRR derating. For single protection, be it earplug or earmuff, it would be NRR minus 7 divided by 2. Whereas for dual protection, it would be NRR minus 7 divided by 2, and you will enjoy additional 5. This means users are wearing earplug together with earmuff. Right. So with that, no matter how we do the calculation, it is on paper. Okay, it is on paper as a calculation. So I would say that it is comply to the suitability component. But how we want to deal with the individual effectiveness, right, under the regulation 718. So I put up here, there are two methods here. First, they are responsive way. Okay, so which means some kind like wait and see, which means we still try to comply, okay, whatever stated in the noise regulation here and the ICOP, okay, and maybe we need to wait for 1 year or 3 months down the road, and when we re-perform the audiometric, okay, if we observe any temporary standard threshold shift or the permanent standard threshold shift, then only we start to think about what would be our corrective action. Okay, so in the markets out there, indeed, we have a very good technology tools. Okay, we call that as a proactive way here, and you can see with a quick technology and tools, we can immediately arrange a hearing protector fit testing for our PHP user. So they are going to generate the PAR value instead of we still rely on the hearing protector rating, okay, be it NR or SNR or SLC. So this is another good or effective way for us to assess and get the good data on hand, okay, who are well protected, okay, who are not protected, and what is next step, how we can help them. I will have a case study to share with everyone, so please bear with me. So this is the overview that I try to summarize in relate to personal hearing protector. So again, I would like to highlight, okay, under the guideline of this, the management of occupational noise-related hearing disorder, clause 5.42, typically, okay, the best way to determine the suitable and effective hearing protector is going through the quantitative fit testing. Okay, next. Okay, let me quickly walk you through the type of hearing protector that's available in the market. So for example, we have earplug. We could have like those like a marshmallow like candy, looks like candy, but they're not candy, like foam, disposable foam. This required usually a good roll down skill, you can tell. So the pre-molded, okay, pre-molded, which means we put in the molding and we have a fixed structure. All right, of course, the flange here, it is flexible. Okay. And next, there are some design come with a push to fit. They come with a stem, right? So you don't need to roll down, but just tolak masuk. There are also custom-made earplug, okay, and also specialized, okay, that built-in electronic system, okay, or in layman, maybe some of you interpret as a noise cancellation, some kind like that. Next, we also have a ear muff, okay, ear muff. But if you look at here, over the ear, okay, over the ear or over the ear hearing protector, it could be looks like a stethoscope design, a banded earplug. This is an earplug, but looks like a stethoscope. Also on the headband design, helmet attached earmuff. Also those earmuff that integrated with communication system, or usually in military or in the Royal Police or the Ministry of Defense. Okay, so for those that they're exposed to very high noise, somehow some design, okay, earmuff design as a helmet. Okay, yeah, they look like helmet, but indeed the objective is for hearing protection, right? Hearing protection. Okay, next. So let me quickly share you the criteria, okay, in terms of the earplug and earmuff selection. For disposable earplug or reusable earplug, there are always pro and con. So I believe in layman's, we can't have one PPE that fit for everyone. Okay, there are always some pro and con. So what as a EHS that we need to determine, or as an NRA, when you do a recommendation, we will need to look at the situation, okay, or the factor, which one is more suitable for them. So for disposable earplug, they are light, okay, they are easy to use, just easily, conveniently keep in the pockets, right? But we also learn from user, okay, somehow this is what I learned from also Dodge when we have a brief chats, okay, when they perform the audits. So initially the earplug is yellow, but they use until the earplug turning black color. Okay, so just take note that for disposable foam type, it is designed for single use according to EN 352. Whereas for reusable, okay, since this is pre-molded design, so depends on our human individual ear canal, okay, and relatively for disposable, since this is for reusable, since this is designed for reusable, we will have the some design with come with casing, okay, so that you can easily keep it, okay, after cleaning. So it avoid like those missing earplug or drop somewhere. Okay. Next, this is the disposable earplugs. So one finding during my local case study, Malaysia case study, especially on the disposable earplug. Okay, most often we have our own methods, right? Our own methods, like we are trying to pushing hard, okay, and you can see eventually we do not secure or seal properly, and it may easily drop off. This is in layman. So the proper roll down for disposable earplug, okay, you can see from here. Okay, usually I love to use my both thumb and roll down. So the tips here, okay, the key here is make sure that when you roll down, that is no crease, tidak bergedut-gedut on the surface before we insert into the earplug. Okay. And next, we have to perform a user seal check. How can we do that? So you just need to put your palm, okay, not pressing, but just cover. And you may want to count backward 10 to 1, okay, and release. So if there's not much different, which means you are wearing it good. If there's a lot of difference, then which means you need to pull out, okay, and wear it again. So this is some tips that Shalene would like to highlight today. Okay, wearing the disposable earplug. Next, I would quickly cover the earmark. So most often in the industry, I'm especially food and beverage industry, what I observe is they put on the earmuff, okay, headband earmuff, and they put on their bum cap. Okay. Reason, it could be due to the bum cap design have no slots, okay, like industrial safety helmets. So just take note of that. Usually, if user required to put on the safety helmets, we will recommend, okay, to choose the right helmet attached earmuff. The other thing that we should take note also, if the user they are working under the hot sun, okay, especially we are tropical country, always hot, okay, and it could be sweating a lot. So you may want to conduct a field evaluation. Sometimes it could be a earplug could be better fit for certain environment. But of course, this is just look at the single evaluation. We will need to also always concern on the suitability and efficiency. Okay. Next, the other thing. So for those that if you see the PPE or hearing protected user, they always required their free hands or both hands, okay, to like for example the MRO maintenance and repair officer. They will need to touch with the diesel, WD-40 lubricant, one hand holding the spanner. So it could be quite challenging for them to, and wearing gloves to roll down the earplug. So those earplug with stem could be a good consideration, and also in terms of the hygiene purposes. Next, most often I also try to do survey when we conduct a sharing session. So in the olden days, I always get this answer. People say earmuff is always much better than earplug because it's easy to put on. But just to make sure that today, I would like to highlight sometimes if you have a user, okay, for example, the ladies with a small head size, lilitan kepala yang kecil, all right, it could be after you push and adjust, it is still a big gap. So this may not fit for her, okay, may need to change to other design, example, earplug. And it could be compatibility with other PPE. For example, here we see a gap here, right? This is what we call a lekuk here, all right? So meaning that we should make sure that we try to adjust and wear it correctly, okay? But how can we make sure that this is good fit? Okay, I think you may have the answer now, okay? We can't just judge by physical or visual. The other thing, it would be like ear. Okay, our ear size, it could be a large ear, whereby the cup, okay, may not fully covered. All right, so this could be replacing with earplug example. And the other thing, it could be excessive facial hair, especially when we are hot and sweat a lot. It could be moving around, and we may not achieve the optimum protection. Next. So I'd like to share the poll question. So I hope you could choose from your poll question that's with the first knowledge check or first quiz. So we talk about the new noise exposure regulation. The nomenclature was changed from PEL to NEL, including the baseline control. So I see their total, okay, some more. Okay, right. Can I end the poll? Okay, yeah. So let me see. So majority, total 71% of you get a right score. Okay, let me share. Okay, the right answer goes to C. Okay, so if we talk about the revoked version of old version, okay, the PEL set at 90 or 95, yeah, if you recall. Okay, 90, yeah. Okay, 85 is the action level. But with the new noise exposure regulation, okay, I think it's quite logic and makes sense that DOS try to lower down the limits, okay, from 90 to 85. Okay, and our current action level, or also another new name, okay, we have a daily excessive noise level, which is 82. Okay. Next. Okay, so now this is the second question, all right, or second quiz. Okay. Okay, done. So can I share the answer now? Okay. Yeah. So let me quickly read the question here. So with Malaysia OSHA's noise exposure regulation, what would be the minimum frequency of hearing conservation and protection training? So if you recall the chart or the summary that I shared earlier, you should be able or easily find the answer. Okay, right. So siapa dapat B? Ya, dia betul. Right. So this is under the regulation 5.2. Okay, that Josh mentioned. So training have to be properly conducted and documented at least once in a year. Okay. Whereas regulation 7.1a, they talk about the selection criteria, including suitability and effectiveness. Okay, now let me move on your favorite topic, or also our favorite topic, okay? Yeah, which is we're talking about the calculation. So we are trying to understand the numbers, okay, for hearing protector. We have been learning, okay, in the ICOPE, they talk about the D rating for NR. So you may want to quickly type, okay, what does it mean by NRR, SNR, as well as PAR. So what to do with all the numbers? Okay, let me quickly share with you. Yep. When manufacturer, they release a product, okay, with a NRR rating, they actually send the product and test through the ANSI standard, okay, the ANSI standard here. Right. So this is ANSI is an American standard, okay, and you can see that relatively compared to the Europe, okay, whereby those hearing protector, they mark, okay, or come with a SNR rating, single number rating, okay, it's actually tested according to ISO test method, but under the European standard, which named EN352. So I would just want to share in very basic so that you can have a good idea, okay, that yeah, comparing American ANSI standard, they are using experimental fit, which means I'm calling 10 test subject, okay, and I'm the tester. So I'm going to fit the earplug, okay, or pasangkan the ear muff for them, and I test 3 times. Whereas for European or SNR product, I'm going to call 16 test subject, okay, and I give a briefing or training to them how to put on correctly. Then I collect the data. So these are very much different, okay, very much different. So in layman, we hardly can convert, okay, in between or vice versa, NRR versus SNR. So taking this example, 3M products, classic, okay, the same product, when we send and test according to ANSI, we may get NR 29. But when we send for Europe, testing under the EN352, which is ISO method, so you may get a SNR 28. So it can generate a different type of rating. Okay. Next, yep, I would like to also highlight how the manufacturer or the lab, the third-party accredited lab, they generate the rating for PHP. So for NRR, as mentioned, they are testing according to the ANSI setting. SNR, they are testing according to the ISO standard. But just take note that in the DOS website, they are going to put the certification approval based on 352, okay, 352, EN352. How they actually generate the final rating. Okay, so you could see that for ANSI standard, they have a very strict control. They are taking a formula which includes, okay, the mean, okay, the mean refer to 2 standard deviation. They're minus of 2 standard deviation. Whereas for SNR, okay, they are minus of 1 standard deviation. Yeah, and that is for SNR. And for NRR, after they minus 2 standard deviation, okay, they still need to go for the third step whereby they will still further degrade or deduct 3 dB. So in general, you would be able to see the same product, okay, when they come with both rating, usually, but not always, SNR could be higher value than NRR. However, okay, I would like to highlight, okay, since the attenuation test method is always different, the calculation is different, and thus there is no mathematical conversion in between NRR and SNR. I hope this made clear to everyone. Okay, so I try to utilize one of the 3M product. So in the past, before DOS enforced the SIRIM certification, so in the market, you will see that Optim 95, okay, or you may call H9P3E, the helmet attached. So currently, we also have the Europe approved version or Europe tested and DOS approved version, which is Optim 1. Okay, so they are equivalent product, but we try to compare side by side. So in the past, we utilized the NRR because they tested according to the ANSI. All right, and we already learned earlier, ANSI standard, they're using experimental fit. And according to Malaysia, for those that's with NRR rating, we got to apply the 50% derating, -7 divided by 2, right? And please take note, when we apply the derating, okay, make sure that on hand from your NRA report, you already have your LEX data, okay, which is usually we can easily get that in unit DPA, right? Whereas, okay, due to certain complication, okay, most manufacturer, we move to European tested product, okay, to get the serine certified and DOSH approval. And you can see under the EN352, the rating, okay, that we mark on the product is SNR. So we see 26 dB here. This is the tested value. And SNR meant for single number rating. This is the test method that adopted under the EN352. And the test method again is different. They are using trained subject. And how about the derating? Many of you ask about the derating. Is there any derating for SNR? Since Shirley mentioned that is no conversion in between NR and SNR. Yes, that is a derating formula for SNR. So please take note here, SNR -4. Later I will show you the reference. However, we face the challenges whereby when you try to apply the SNR, be it derated SNR, make sure that on hand you have DBC data. Okay? And many of us, we always confused. Oh, Shirley tak ada masalah, saya ada DBC data dekat PIC. Okay? But I want to make sure that you get this idea. Okay? When we apply the SNR product, okay, the DBC exposure level that we need, okay, actually comes from the LEX 8 hours data measured by the noise risk assessor. So there are some gaps, okay, from DOSH gazettes, the noise regulation in year 2018, and when they appointed SIRIM as a PPE auditing agent or certification agent for hearing protection in year 2022. So in current situation, our NRA do not require to measure LEX in DBC. Yeah, so make sure at this point of time, you got the idea, okay? When we apply SNR, on hand, we need to have LEX 8 hours. Don't use the big data, that's different. Where is the reference come from? And here I got this slide, okay. So since I mentioned the SNR -4, right? Yeah, and you will still love to ask, can we just SNR -4 and equal to NRR? So we want to do a quick calculation. If SNR -4 equal to NR, if this is true, take this as a hypothesis, which means I just do a simple mathematical calculation. As hypothesis, SNR minus NR, I will always get back 4, right? Okay, next, yeah, you may ask where Charlene get this derating SNR by 4? So a quick one from the HSE US government. Okay, here, HSE UK is like DOSH Malaysia. Okay, so they clearly stated here. Okay, we need to have a derating by 4 dB here. Okay, next. So let me show you the calculation here. We put side by side again. So the similar product, okay, the similar product. Similar product. So this is tested according with the SNR rating and NR rating. So if our hypothesis SNR -4 always equal to NR, so I move a bit the formula, SNR minus NR, it would be always equal to 4. Agree, yeah, at this point. So let's take a look for all the earplug here. So for model 1100 disposable earplug, the SNR 35 and the NR 29. So if I were to apply the hypothesis, okay, that we shared earlier, 35 minus 29, we will get 6. So we run through quickly. For reusable earplug 1270, okay, this is the same design. So we have 26 and 24, so we get 2. So the same analogy, Okay, so for example, the yellow neon, okay, we got a 34 SNR, 33 NRR, then we get 1, and so on. So we will maybe very luckily get 4, but not all the case. Hope you could see the example. So the second example, okay, we move to the right table. Again, we put our formula, our hypothesis. So you could see from here, let's take the earplug, okay, the earplug, oh, sorry, the earmuff, Optim 1, okay, 27, okay, minus of 25. And you will see that's we got 2. And if we apply the same conceptual, because we try to check, right, counter check whether we can do reverse engineering calculation or not. So we will never get all 4, but we get 7, 2, yeah, it range, or even 5 and 7. So which mean you could see clearly now, there's no way to do a mathematical conversion in between NRR and SNR. Reason, when at the very beginning stage, okay, the test method is different, the standard deviation calculation is different and controlled by different methods. All right, so how we can solve the situation now? Okay, yeah. We also share the information, okay? Also, we try to explain to Sirim and also Josh, okay? And that is some gaps in between for the current regulatory landscape. So majority in the DOSH approved website, 90% of the hearing protector rated SNR. So how can we help user? Okay. So on behalf of Train Malaysia, we would like to thank Dr. Laurie. She also helped us a lot and conducted a lot of a very in-depth technical presentation to Josh. Okay, and finally we got a mutual agreement with their letters from Josh for 3M product. Even though our hearing protectors, okay, come with the SNR rating, but for user who choose 3M product, okay, you are allowed to have a cross-reference, the table that I shared earlier, and utilize the NRR for the rating calculation. Right, so this is what I would like to share, okay. And next, okay, the second FAQ, okay, the second FAQ. Here. All right. Yeah, this is just to as a supporting data from the HSE. We may ask, I'm very confused why SNR required DBC. I thought DBC is always measured in peak level. But I would like to share, if I'm the NRF practice in UK, okay, so I got to set my dosimeter in the software to concurrently measure LEX, TWA with unit dBA and DBC. So here in the HSE UK website, they clearly stated when you want to apply the SNR methods, okay, make sure, okay, you do not confuse yourself with the peak. Okay, make sure you choose the L unit DBC EQ. EQ actually is a term using in UK. I think Malaysia, our old law also we use LEQ, but now we have a LEX. Okay, and next for NRA, okay, if you look at the software, you can always set your measurement by meter 1, meter 2, and meter 3. So we can measure the dBA or DBC depending on the our country regulation. That actually tells us we have some gaps in between. Okay, and Shalin just want to highlight that there's no point for us to how to convert SNR and NRR. Okay, reason, when we calculate the SNR, there's a derating formula SNR minus 4, but on hand, our NRA currently, we do not have a LEX in unit DBC. All right. Next, we also try to explain to those, so what are those alternative methods? Okay. So for those alternative methods, you may actually look at this table as a reference. This is based on meeting and verbally recommendation from DOSH HQ as an interim solution while they are trying to figure out how the industry can move forward. So for example, if you have your LEX, okay, falls in between 85 to 90, then you may choose the SNR product 20 and below. If you have exposure in between 90 to 95, okay, then you may want to choose those PHP with SNR rating in between 20 to 30 and so on. Yeah, but just take note that this is a very rough idea whereby you can see the overlap, right? Yeah, how you want to choose this or this. And for your information, based on my personal check, okay, that is at the moment there is no product, okay, approved with SNR 20. Okay, SNR 20. And yeah, okay. Oh, we come to the knowledge check number 3. So let's have a quick check here. Okay. Let's us please vote the poll question. Yeah. So can I end the poll? Oh, okay, you're still choosing that. Okay. Let me share the answer. Okay, I end the poll. Okay. All right. So we know that SNR meant for single number rating, not source of noise rating. Okay. SNR is a EN352 under the ISO test methods. Okay, so these two are wrong. And SNR is suitable to apply with noise exposure level, okay, for our case, if we have a unit DBC. But unfortunately, currently, this is not a mandatory requirement for NRI practitioner. Okay, yeah. So you may ask why. So when we have a SNR product, this is the standards, okay, in Europe. So NRA practitioner in Europe, they are required to measure both dBA and DBC for LEX. Okay. Next, let me see. Okay, right. So is there any tools for us to evaluate, okay, the effectiveness for hearing protector? We have been talking about, okay, we have been talking about the NR conversion, okay, and the SNR conversion. Okay, so how can we evaluate the suitability and efficiency for the individual PHP user? Okay. Okay, so let's take a look here. So in the total industry, we could have multiple functions, okay, engineering, healthcare, constructions, oil and gas. Yeah, so instead of just calculate, but the actual achievement for attenuation, it could be different, okay, it could be different. So that's the reason it is good, okay, to assess the personal attenuation rate. Okay, here we put up a similar example that Dr. Laurie put up, but I input the Malaysia regulations. Okay, first we talk about 718 require employer to make sure that it is sufficient and efficient. So if you look at here, the applied NRR derating, okay, -7 divided by 2. This is we want to conform the 718 suitability. And this example, okay, we get from NRA report, it is 89 dB TWA from NRA report. And as a safety professional, we want to always control below 85. Some company control in certain food and beverage or oil and gas, they control even lower. I learned that some control below 82, some control even below 80. All right. So for example, if we have this earmark and we have just talked about, we can cross-reference and utilize the NR value. So let's take this 23. And we follow through the formula. 23 minus 7 divided by 2. So we got 8 here, right? And we try to plug in into the formula. Our noise exposure level minus of the derated NRR, we should control always below 85, or depending on your company internal control. So in this case, 89 minus of derated NRR value, which is 8. And you can see that this value is just good, okay? Yeah, below NEL and below the daily excessive noise level. But please also try to think about this. Most often, I believe majority of us, we already done a good calculation when time is selection. However, based on the facts that reflect on statistic, the hearing problem is still reported as the highest. So you may want to ask, is this holistic enough? Okay, next let me quickly share with you. So again, this is the noise exposure level, okay, from NRA, and this is our company target example. So you did your own calculation. 7.1a talk about the suitability. You want to showcase using calculation. And next, you want to have a confidence. Is this a real suitable and effectively protect the operators? Then we can quickly send them for hearing protective fit testing. Okay, and immediately you found out that the personal attenuation rate, okay, then you from the fit testing, left is well protected, right side only achieve 1 dB. So assuming if I stop here based on the calculation, so I will be waiting for the audiometric report and OHD comment, and only I get to know that these operators, they are having right side hearing problem or maybe temporary hearing loss. Okay, since he's continuously only, okay, protected left ear but not right ear. So with that, we can quickly utilize the hearing protecting fit testing tools, okay, to quickly train or coach the workers how to wear it correctly, okay, and we can quickly reassess, okay, how good the effectiveness until we get an idea of good result or passing result. So you can utilize that, okay, to improve your training effectiveness. And again, you will also see that you are trying to help the operators, okay, and remove from high risk zone to a well-protected zone. Okay, so with that, if you try to put up a comparison or quick summary in between the lab test NRR, lab test SNR, and the individual ear fit or hearing fit testing value. Okay, so we already talked about that. And for personal attenuation rate, okay, earlier Dr. Laurie also mentioned that is a standard, again from ANSI S12.71. Is a governance standards that talk about how to manage or standardize or harmonize in terms of the hearing protective testing tools, okay, how to use the PAR, okay, and this you will be able, okay, to directly subtract from your DBA, since currently we only have the DBA. Good. Next, you may ask, Shirley, where can I have a reference that Josh also supported the hearing protective testing? So as we discussed earlier, okay, in the newly released DOSH guideline, okay, they did make a comment in the clause 5.1, okay, 5.1. So most often, okay, for user, okay, they have a hearing issue or hearing problem, okay, it is due to the inappropriate fit. Maybe they do not know how to wear it, or they do not know how to replace a hygiene kits, okay, when to replace the ear muff or ear plug, and they may not know how to wear it, right? And next, the following clause, okay, the guideline, the DOSH guideline mentioned about, the best way to determine the effective hearing protectors is through individual quantitative testing. Okay. So which means we no longer just rely on calculation like NRR, SNR, head scratch, okay, asking about how to convert, okay, -3 or -4, kind of like that. So we will just need to implement the fit testing, then we will immediately get the accurate individual attenuation rate. We call it as a personal attenuation rate. So this is the example. If you have interest to have the physical demo later, you can fill up the form. But now I would just, to buy time, just quickly share with you. Today we have this system, ear fit or hearing protector fit testing. First, we invite our test subject, okay, to sit nicely and ask them to fit on our test group. And we are going to connect with the external and internal microphone. Okay, and this is the equipment. The speaker, they are able to generate, okay, the full frequency from 125 with the doubling frequency up to 8,000. Okay, with this 16-inch connected with the software, then we are able to get, okay, the actual attenuation achieved by the individual, both left and right ear. So you can see left ear, right ear. And in total, the achievement is 28. Okay, 28. And if everything went well, actually the test run very fast. We just require 5 seconds and we will get the full attenuation graph, okay, for this individual with the PAR value. Earlier, Dr. Laurie did share the result, right? But just a quick one. So this is from the software itself, okay? And we also have a detailed tab, okay? They come with the isi tersurat and isi tersirat. What I mean is, if it tell you whether it is well protected below your control limit, here we see the company exposure control limit is 85. And if you also tell you by wearing the similar or the exact earmark, okay, with the method with this individual, he is allowed to enter up to 109 dB. So you don't want to have a head scratch, or when you have a new machine or new compressor, you don't need to redo. If you already measured your sound level, contribute by the new machine. So if it gives you a data, okay, whether this fit or not, okay, with the new situation. And we are moving to digital. Okay. In the past, we print a lot of certs, okay, and manually keep using a lot of storage and cutting a lot of tree. So with the earfit also, we are able to generate the digital certificates. Okay. And for your information, the hearing fit testing, the earfit kit is calibrated. Okay, it's calibrated similar to our sound pressure level, also on the dosimeters. It's all calibrated. So these are the details. And you can generate the reports with full frequency here. Right. Next. So there's an article published by 3M global experts, okay, in the globally. You can have this reference as well, and you can see here that in the US, okay, this is the comment. Higher expenditure for training and hearing protector fit testing will significantly, okay, improve or reduce the SDS. I think this is what we really mean. Yeah, we not just wearing the hearing protector for compliance, but we want to see 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road, the Malaysian operators, okay, they really achieve the good attenuation and less people suffer from hearing issue when they get retired. I think this is for our next generation as well. Okay. So as promised, I would like to share you some of the case study. Okay, so this is a very preliminary and a quick study. Okay, for those participate in the Malaysia study program. So for first case study, you can see that we are using the disposable earplug, or we call Gantel roll down. So before training, we see, okay, more than half, 55% relatively to 45%. More than half of them, they fail. But by calculation, they are all good. But in actual, they are failed to achieve what we supposed or what we targeted, which is in general below 85. So with that, we can quickly utilize with the earfit tools, right? You can quickly show them how to roll down, okay, the earplugs. And you see, you already improve, okay, most of them from initially 45 people or 55% of the total test subject from out of total 82. And now, okay, we only left 11% that they are still failed. So two key here. First, you already moved majority of initial failed people to safe zone. Okay, now they understand they need to properly wear it, properly roll down, properly pull the ear pinna upwards and backwards, this kind of tips and seal check. Yeah. The other thing is you know that these 9 people, okay, they still fail. And this is where you can immediately take action that change another type of proper ear muff or ear plug for them without waiting for the negative result from OHD. So this is what we see. So you also improve your passing rates or your effectiveness. From initially you only gain 45 people, but now you actually 73 people, they are passed. And you have confidence that out there, okay, 89% of your this group of workers, they are well protected. And you're already on hand who are these 9 people, and you want to do a corrective action immediately. Right. Next, that's another case study using the reusable, which is the pre-molded. And you can see it's a slightly better than the disposable, right? So now we have we tested total 255 operators, and you can see initially we achieved 83%. They are all good, but 17% they are not. So with a proper coaching training, so we moved them, okay, from 17 to only 3% remaining, or in figure 8 people, okay, we know that they are at high risk. So with this, you know that you need to replace different type of ear muff or earplug design for these 8 people, right? Okay. Last, I would like to talk about the ear muff. Okay, this is quite similar with the previous case study. So for ear muff, we tested in the one of the industry. We tested 7 ladies with hijab. Anak tudung, the ladies with hijab engineers. So initially, based on calculation, again, they are all good by calculation, and around -7 divided by 2. But when we send for ear fit test, only 57% they are good. Okay, so we still see that maybe 40%, okay, they are not good. So immediately we give a quick coaching how to position the headband and also how to clamp the helmet attach design, and we see that we move the improvement or the effectiveness, okay, training effectiveness from 57 to 86. So you're saving this group of people. So only left 14%, which it is reflect to 1 single person from total 7 test subject. And here you will know that yeah, she is suffering, and so that you may want to change or replace a higher attenuation of ear muff, or it could be a reduction of the working duration, right? Or maybe you need to implement a dual protection, which means ear plug and ear muff. So you have a good hand data, how you want to properly manage, okay, the operators with data on hand. So with that, I have a last quiz here. Okay, so I invite Shasrin to show the poll. Okay, so hopefully you got the right score. Okay, see the some more. Okay, let's see if we can get 100 response. We have 98 response now. All right, we hit the 100. So I end the poll now. Okay, let's share the answer. Okay, yeah, so for those who choose C, all right, yeah, you got the right answer. Okay, you got the right answer. We have 49%. Okay, 49% of you choose almost half of you choose the right answer. Let's quickly go through. Okay, what is the benefit for personal hearing protector? Okay, so yes, with the current challenge and situation with the majority DOSH approved product is SNR product, so utilize the hearing fit testing PAR value could be one of the good resolution and accurate and help you to comply regulation 7, 1A, the suitability and the efficiency. Okay, B, help identify at-risk workers and manage appropriate hearing protection selection. Yes, this we just discussed. And C is the right answer. With the hearing protector testing, we can't detect any hearing impairment. This we will need to still run through the audiometry based on the test and get the expert like Dr. Lori. Okay, she will be able to advise. So, but it's not from the hearing testing. And last, hearing protector fit testing. Okay, this will help you to definitely improve your training effectiveness based on the case study, the 3 case study that Shirley shared earlier, right? So last few slide. Okay, earlier Dr. Lori did share this, but I input and chip in those clauses that relates to Malaysian legislation. When we talk about the selected evidence benefit, utilize ear fit, first, you see by your own from the case study, right? You immediately identify who are the workers at high risk. I think this is what EHS and what we want to drive for, right? Ultimately, we want to reduce, okay, or the workers suffer from hearing loss when they get retired, okay. And you can improve your training outcome and effectiveness, okay. So you can input earfit as one of the complement, okay, when you run your hearing conservation program. Okay, hearing conservation program by utilize the earfit under the regulation 5, the training requirement, the content, the frequency. And next, if you helps to reduce, okay, the occurrence of a threshold shift, which means we try to stop these workers continue have a further damage, since you already have a good hand data, okay, from the actual attenuation or PAR. This is also jive with the guideline that Shirley showed earlier, the DOSH guideline 5.42, the best way to determine the hearing protectors. It will be going through the individual fit testing and you will reduce your STS. Next, it will be the compatibility issue. Remember earlier I shared those 7, even though it's a small test subject group of test subject, okay, it's only 7, but you already see from the data itself, they may suffer from the compatibility issue. By calculation, that's good enough to protect them, but in actual that is not. Including people wearing bum cap, they are wearing respirators, goggles, helmets, right? And last, it helps you to achieve our OSHA's Malaysia noise regulation compliant 718. If you recall, suitability and individual effectiveness. Okay. Last, this is try to put everything in one page. Okay. So if you have your noise risk assessment program and you already have your audiometric testing records, so you may want to also always start to check, okay, whether your current earplug or earmuff is suitable on them. So make sure you properly run through the proper selection, okay, and consideration, and make sure arrange a training, okay, for them, and fit testing is memang a good choice, okay, for you to further enhance and reduce the hearing issue that may occur in future. Train them how to use, how to inspect, okay, and maintain. Yeah, what can clean and what are like disposable. We are not designed for cleaning purposes. Okay. And the other thing, the PHP issuing records, okay, this record is important, okay, in the regulation 5, also on the fit testing. And you have your hearing conservation administrator, okay, HCA, to evaluate the whole program. So these are the noise regulation, the OSHA's Act, okay, the ICO, and the guideline mentioned above of the hearing protector fit testing. So this to each every one of you, okay, where you can quickly chip in all the hearing protector related Malaysian legislation. Right. Okay, so this is the slide that we want to collect feedback from all the participants today. So I hope you could scan the QR code prepared by our marketing team and give us some feedback, okay, so that we will make a better version in near future. Let me try to log in the Zoom so that I can read your question.
Charlene, this is Lori.
Oh, hi, Lori.
Yeah. There was a question in the chat about dual hearing protection.
Yeah.
Do you know what the Malaysia requirement is regarding wearing both hearing protectors at the same time?
Yeah, that will be NRR -7 divided by 2 and add 5. Let me try to dial in using my phone, yeah. Yeah, because I'm sharing using my laptop. Yeah.
But at what exposure level is it required?
In the Malaysia DOSH guideline and all ICO, they didn't specify what is the exposure level, just like the US MSHAS, or if I'm not mistaken, like in US MSHAS, they specified 105 dB, they got to start wearing the dual protection, but in Malaysia we don't. So what we have to calculate is make sure that you pass your control limits. Okay, so I will just go back to my slide. Okay. So if we take the examples, yeah, apologies for this. So for example, if you have choose the example only, if you choose already the highest ear muff, or it would be the earplug, when you perform the calculation, okay, and apply your, let's say you have your exposure very high, okay, 115 dB, all right, and definitely with varying -8, you will still exceeded the 85. So our targets, right, either dual protection or not, we want to make sure they are controlled below 85 dB in layman.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure what in the US, the mining regulation requires dual hearing protection at 105 and greater, but like you said, OSHA does not have a specification, but the US NIOSH does recommend dual hearing protection over 100. So I think that you're using the math equation is a good guidance.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me see if there's any other question. So, I see AD Rizwana. Yeah, yes, we can utilize for 3M product, we can utilize the NRR product. We already get a DOR reply. Okay, the question. Any other question? Yeah, just to check. Okay. I see Muhammad Nur Shafiq asked about if you're using the full brim helmet, any suitable earmuff. Yeah, so in this case, we will recommend the earplug, okay, earplug, like at this point of time. Okay. Nick Ahmad asked about, is it a good practice to wear both earplug and earmuff? So I would say that it really depends on the attenuation that we want to achieve, right? Yep. So yep, I hope you, yeah. Any other question? If no, I think I will hand over to Nayosh yeah, as a host. Right. Thank you everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Sherlyn, for the presentation, for the knowledge sharing on behalf of the Malaysian legislation related to the noise exposure level. Okay, so with that, we reach our final topic, and then maybe we can have our picture in the Zoom. So can all the participants on the camera so that I can have our print screen so that we can share to the train and also okay, this on your camera.
So nanti bola MOU tu pengarah kita saya dia print banyak-banyak bagi dia saya dulu.
Again, thank you very much for your participation, for your time, for your hearing to the topic today, okay, for the sharing of knowledge from Dr. Lori from United States. I believe that over there is already night.
Yes, it is now 10 o'clock. It is very dark. But I'm happy to know there is tomorrow coming.
Okay, come. Lot of
Sherlyn,
participants in.
Sherlyn, are you still sharing your screen?
Yeah, Lori, yeah, I'm not sharing my screen.
Okay, very good.
Okay, so I think I can take the picture. Still, lot of you guys do not open the camera, but it's okay. Okay, I will have a print snapshot now. Okay, please 1, 2. Okay.
Boris. Ya, ayo.
Right. For the next
Dewan Perniagaan dan Perindustrian Melayu Perak.
so thank you very much from Nayash to 3M for the sharing knowledge. And then for the participants, please log into the link I give in the chat. For the downloading for your registration for the participation certification, isa.nayash.net.my. Okay, for those who haven't filled in ataupun this is your first time, so please make sure to daftar pengguna baru at the below of the login data. If you have did this before, so log in using the same my card number and password. Okay, so log in, and then the soonest will be tomorrow for the certificate, because we need to cross check first from the Google and then the data. Then you need to do the penilaian, and then after you can download the certificate, and then the file is protected file. Okay, so the password is the end of your 6 digit terakhir my card lah. Okay, jadi masukkan 6 digit terakhir my card setiap orang, and then the file will be open, and then can print or can save the file. Okay, so the soonest will be tomorrow. And then again, daripada pihak NIOSH, berterima kasih kepada persediaan ataupun penyertaan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan ke dalam webinar kita pada hari ini. InsyaAllah kita akan ada lagi webinar, especially webinar yang free ni macam ni, dan please alert on our website lah, Facebook, website NIOSH and so on lah. Kita akan promote di mana-mana di platform yang ada, dan pastikan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan alert dan juga boleh share, boleh join juga. Okay. Right, dengan itu terima kasih daripada pihak Sekretariat NIOSH, dan juga terima kasih kepada team 3M yang willing to share the knowledge and product knowledge. Okay. Jadi dengan itu terima kasih dan Assalamualaikum, kita jumpa lagi.